We had a great quarter. I mean, we really delivered sales at 10%, earnings at up 13%, and we talked about accelerating our growth through the back half of the year, and we saw just that.
Right.
We had some new acquisitions, as you know, Actelion and Abbott Medical Optics, and oncology and immunology products in particular did extremely well this quarter, and we're probably going to invest in the back half of the year, get us set up for a very strong future growth potential as well.
But if you beat in the fourth quarter, you're just assuming where analysts' expectations are right now. You're not assuming you're going to beat that. You're not raising guidance for the fourth quarter because you made up the 10 cents that you increased just in the third quarter. Is that correct?
Joe, what we did is we increased our outlook on both sales and earnings for the full year above the analyst estimates. And although we beat the analyst estimates in the third quarter, we were pretty much in line with what we thought we would do, and we're confident that we're going to continue to grow in the fourth quarter and beyond as well.
If you factor out acquisitions and divestitures, sales grew at 3.8%, and it was worldwide, U.S. and international. When you put them all together, it was 3.8, or each one was exactly 3.8? That's weird. That shows you that this is kind of an inelastic, I guess, company to some extent. And what you sell around the world, you get exactly the same sales increase?
Well, Joe, just coincidentally, when you exclude impact of acquisition and divestitures, our sales are about 50% both inside and outside the U.S. What's important about that number, 3.8 on an organic basis, is through 6 months, it was only 0.8%. So we obviously accelerated our growth in the third quarter, as we said we would.
Hey, Dominic, it's Meg Terrell. I didn't see any mention in the press release of Puerto Rico, and I know that J&J has 7 plants there. Can you tell us about how the manufacturing is going in Puerto Rico and whether you expect to see any disruptions?
Sure. Hi, Meg. Well, you're right. We have 7 plants. We have over 3,600 employees in Puerto Rico. Our primary concern, of course, is the safety and well-being of those employees, and we've done a lot to help them as well as the overall community in Puerto Rico, working with officials there. Our plants are up and running now. We're on generator power. We've had some minimal disruption. We think that we'll be fine for the balance of the year. And we have backup facilities, of course, in our vast manufacturing network to ensure that essential medicines are produced and delivered where they're needed.
So we know that the FDA is looking at 40 critical medicines that are produced there, but we don't know which ones they are. Are there any Johnson & Johnson products on that list that should be watched?
There are many Johnson & Johnson products that are produced in Puerto Rico. The ones that are on the FDA list, we don't have a problem in producing, and we have backup facilities across the world, as I said earlier. So we're confident we won't see any disruption of any material impact.
Also want to ask you about, what the president said yesterday about drug prices. You know, going back to that rhetoric he used in January, saying the industry is getting away with murder when it comes to its prices, also implying that prices in the United States need to come down and prices overseas need to come up somehow. How are you interpreting what that might mean for your industry?
Well, the way we look at it, Meg, is the overall cost of health care is a topic we should be talking about. But drug prices, as you probably know, represent only 14% of overall health care costs. And what's lost in the discussion is the immense benefit that they provide to patients. And they actually reduce or help reduce the other 86% of the cost that we're not talking about. We particularly price our products very responsibly. We've issued a transparency report earlier this year with very low single-digit price increases below the overall rate of inflation. So I think the overall discussion of healthcare costs in general is a good topic. A focus on drug pricing seems to be a focus on a very narrow point in the discussion.
There is some talk, Dominic, about generics and all the roadblocks that are put in the way. And we know how drug companies over the years have tried to extend patent protection using extended release and things. I mean, will Johnson & Johnson continue to spend money trying to maintain exclusivity on drugs? That's what the president's point was yesterday. Or do you think that the greater good of society would be if drug prices, if you don't have exclusivity as long?
Now, we think that it's important to invest in medical innovation, and we do think that generics hit the market at the appropriate time, provide room in the healthcare system to help pay for innovations and cures, and that's where we are now in our drug development.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.